रेड हो गया.
Good morning, respected CMD sir, Dr. Patnaik sir, and Dr. Sethi and my beloved doctors. Today, the most important topic we are going to discuss, the management of stress. The World Health Organization has declared this year's topic as hypertension, and hypertension has a lot of bearing on stress. Nowadays, the interpersonal stress, due to interpersonal stress, organization stress and social stress, the incidence of hypertension is rising. Therefore, managing this stress is very important for the control of hypertension. In this auditorium, every Friday we discuss a topic for our enlightened doctors, DNB students and house staff. Each doctor is given a topic well ahead, he prepares it and presents it. So today our most important topic is stress management. So to define stress, we have to adopt different models. So this Henseley in his medical model defines stress as the non-specific response of the body to any demand. Stress is a very non-specific factor. There are a lot of things involved for stress. Any person can react to any environmental in a positive way or negative way. We'll discuss in later. How the stress arises? The person, as soon as he interacts with the environmental cue, the interpersonal cue, the organizational cue or the societal cue, immediately some reaction occurs. It may be positive or negative. So in both ways the stress is there. We'll discuss in later how the positive and negative stress impacts the person. There are various dimensions of the stress. We'll discuss the stress among the individuals and the managers in specific to railways, and also the organizational stress, how it impacts our health. I've already discussed the Henseley model of medical model. I will discuss about Cannon's model and other psychological models of stress. Cannon, he defines specific response a person or an animal or any individual, how he reacts. In his famous experiment, what he did, he took a rat and he gave painful stimuli to its tail. On the repeated stressor, he measured the stress level of that rat. Then after some time, he anesthetized the tail and gave same pinching stimulus to the tail. And lo and behold, he found that the rat has no stress. That means the stress impinging of the pin was not important. It is important how the person perceived it. So the anesthesis has a big role in pain management, also stress management. So here we have to anesthetize our mind. We have to train our mind. We have to learn how to react to the environment. That I will teach you in my later slides. Then another experiment about cat digestion. What he did, he took a group of cats, then he divided into two groups. One group were put under stressor, and another group was given the relaxing music and other stress-free environment. He measured the secretion of different digestive enzymes, etc., and the digestion process. And he found those rats who were stressed has poor secretion of enzymes, poor digestion compared to the group which were not stressed, given a stress-free environment. And you all know that how this catecholamine cortisol that the famous limbic system, that is adrenal pituitary axis, how it reacts to the different stress response. So we are living in a war-like situation. Stress is everywhere. You cannot escape stress. Everywhere there is stress. So the most important is how to learn about different ways the stress comes and how to overcome it with a positive response. In every day we have daily tensions at home or at major crisis in the environment. Different life events affect us, and also there are several causes of stress in our day-to-day life. Now we'll discuss about type of stressors in our organization. Our railway is a vast organization, and people live in different organizations. So this organizational stress also affects your personal stress. So there are different types. This is I have taken from the organizational behavior book, where there are 4 types of stressors that they are described. Episodic disruption occurring in the organization, away from the organization, then stressors that due to chronic condition occurring in the organization, and also away from the organization. So, in the organization, sudden change in policy. So, the administration decided that there will be no increase in fare in the railways for 10 years. We have no control over that. But we as managers suffered from a lot of stress. Administration decided that all retired employees and their dependents will get enrolled as par with the railway employees at some point of time. It put a lot of burden on our medical resources. We have no control of it, but we face the stress of that. So there is a lot of organizational things which occur beyond our control. We must learn how to overcome this stress rather than fighting with it. So there are 2 types of stress. One is positive and negative. The positive is called eustress, and the negative is called distress. So eustress, it's a good stress. So acute eustress example is appearing in an exam or interview. You have to be stressed, otherwise you won't prepare well for that examination. Where there is no stress, progress cannot occur. Suppose you don't insist that you people come at time at 8:30. You will come late, so you will learn less. So we have to something stressor has to put to the persons for better performance. Without stress, no progress can occur. Chronic eustress is the best. So stress has 3 dimensions. Immediately after a putting stress, there is a curve. Then it reaches a peak. One must recognize, the management, the administrator must recognize where to put an end to the nature of stress, the type of stress you are giving. That shows the efficiency of the management, efficiency of manager. How much stress you can put for better performance. After reaching the optimum level, then again performance decreases. So each manager must know what is the peak of my people's stress level, how much positive stress they can bear, and when it turns negative, then you have to stop. That is the key. So after reaching the peak level, eustress becomes a distress. One must recognize when it becomes a distress. It is a bad stress. So it creates negative feeling, dissatisfaction, loss of focus, and also lack of goal achievement, loss of progress, depression, and all anxiety, hypertension, and all diseases and psychological problems. So in acute distress, there is fight and flight response. People think they should leave the organization. They may think they will go away from the stressed area. But if you know the limit, if you give the right amount of stress to the right population, they will feel energized, they will feel very dynamic to do any work that is given to them. So, there is a lot of psychological reaction occurring to the stress. If the person may have anxiety, he may have a restricted response to the surrounding or apparent disorientation when he cannot manage stress. And each individual has different potential. That has to be also recognized. Human beings are not like computers or not like any machines where the reaction will be equal to the each stimulus. They are living beings. So each person will differ in amount of stress that he can bear. That has to be recognized well. So, more prolonged bed stress goes to adjustment disorders or post-traumatic stress disorders. People may go on somatization. They have multiple complaints which they cannot explain. Neither the organization can explain, nor the people around except psychiatrists. They are masters in giving explanations. So they can only explain this somatization behavior. The stress and the output may not be, you cannot give any scientific explanation why such things appear to a given particular amount of stress. I will give you a small example. Like mother was reading newspaper. A child, what he did, immediately the child was given a glass of milk. He threw the milk everywhere in the house. The mother kept quiet. Then the child was asked just to bring the book. The child for reading. The child did not hear. And suddenly the mother told, kindly bring a glass of water. And the child did not obey. Immediately mother started slapping the child left and right and kicking the child left and right. The third was a very non-significant order. The first was the bed one. The child threw milk throughout the house. Still the mother kept quiet. Then the child was asked that to bring the book and read. He disobeyed. The mother kept quiet. The third was very insignificant stimulus. Just the mother asked, bring a glass of water for me, and the child disobeyed. And the reaction was tremendous. That is, in psychological term, is called stamp collection. The reaction that you give to a particular stress may be collection of your lot of past memories. You collect and unless it reaches the brim, you don't react. You try to adjust, you try to adapt. Once your brim is gone, then you start reacting in a very violent way that is not proportionate to the amount of stress you are getting. All people, they have a basal level stress and each one is different. People with stress related emotional ability at the high base level. Some people, they are complaint mongers. For little stress, they will start complaining a lot. But that beautiful example it is given. In a war, a soldier has lost one of limb in his bomb blast. He has only one limb left and another limb is bleeding. But he still takes the gun and kills 100 enemy. Tells that till I have life, I will go on fighting. I will go on fighting. I will not give an enemy enter into my territory till the last drop of blood is there. And another person, just he has a small pinprick in the leg and he takes sick, another army man, he goes on sick for 20 days. So it depends. Individual reactions are different. Individual adaptations are different. That has to be recognized. So now, most important, management. How to manage? How to manage? For managing anything, you have to first know your enemy. You have to know your enemy, then you have to know yourself. Because these are the two factors that is important for management of stress. You have to analyze the factors causing this stress. Eustress is good. Positive stress is good. You have to recognize up to what level of stress you can bear. And you have to recognize what are the factors causing this stress. That is most important. You have to identify and eliminate the factors that cause distress. And learn to accept the stress which offers benefit. That is most important. You have to know yourself. You have to understand yourself. That is written in many ways. Like Gita says, you have to understand the self. You have to accept that you are not immortal. You have a point of birth, you have a point of death. This body is not permanent. This body is your house. You are immortal. Yourself moves from one body to another. If you think in this way, then the stress occurring in this life becomes so less. Because you believe, I have 1,000 births before this body, and another I will occur 1,000 births after death of this body. So this total lifespan becomes short. So you think in a very philosophical way. The most scientific way is to understand your motives. Smaller way. You have to understand why I have come to this organization. What is my goal? What for I am staying in this organization? What I should do for the organization? What I expect organization to do for me? And what I should do for the organization? What is my family composition? What are the requirement demands of my family? What is the demands of my superiors? What is demands from my colleagues? What is demand of the society on me? If you analyze, then most of the stress will be gradually eliminated. We don't think at all. We always move like a group of sheep. People are running, we run without thinking that for where they are running, why they are running at this breakneck speed, where they will be reaching. We don't think at all. We think people in a group, in a herd, then we move without any thought. So and God has given us a mind, God has given us the power to think. If you think properly, then most of your stress will be resolved. Understand your strengths, habits and weakness. That is what is important. Each person is different. Look for fulfillments. For happiness, 5 things are required. Number 1 is good physical health. Unless you have a very good physical health, you cannot remain stress-free. Then you have a healthy mind. There's very little difference in physical body from Napoleon and a beggar. Physically, almost no difference. The most important is the mind. Napoleon thinks, I can win the world. A beggar thinks, I can do nothing. He asks, give me a rupee. So, mind is most important. A healthy mind is very, very important to remain stress-free. Then, good family, that is your partner, husband or wife, should be very accommodative, adjustive. They must know your demands. They must know how much they can bear. And if they live happy, the husband-wife relationship, the father-mother-children relationship, family is good, then you can remain a stress-free life. You have to know how to manage the interpersonal relationships to remain stress-free. Then you have to develop a very good friend circle and also a very good hobby. Like those people who do play golf, play tennis, play football, play cricket, you ask them how relaxed they feel once they engage in that hobby. Throughout after day's work, if they enter into their hobby state, then they remain stress-free. So these are very, very important points I will describe. The most important thing, you have to feel good about yourself. This world is unique things. God has created unique things in the world. You are unique. There is no comparison and contrast between unique things. You cannot compare a dove and an elephant. A dove can fly, elephant can't. Elephant can carry 1,000 tons of timber, a dove cannot. But you cannot compare and contrast. You cannot compare and contrast between a small needle and a sword. A needle can sew cloth and make 100 people hide their things. But a sword can cut 1,000 people's head. You cannot compare and contrast between things. So, the personal stress management is most important. Deep breathing exercise. If time permits, I have everything in our psychiatric clinic. I have about 500 CDs of our different stress management CDs. Relaxation, yoga nidra, then third opening of your how to control your emotions, how to manage your interpersonal relations. I have all CDs in our. I have brought few ones. If time permits, I will show. Otherwise, you will show in the very next session. Important deep breathing exercises, but if you breathe from the abdomen to be stress free. Every day we breathe from the chest. Deep breathing exercises are there. Then meditation is one of the most important for personal stress relief. Having a dose of laughter is most important. You have to laugh at your own faults. You have to laugh at your own self. Laughing at others' fault is also relieves your stress, but laughing at yourself is the best. It relieves your stress. Laughing at others may increase their stress. And this Master Jacobson progressive relaxation, we have video and audio CDs at our clinic. And listening to light music, what one of our famous CMDC had introduced at one place. In operation theatre, while operating at one point of time, there were very mild music which are being played throughout the hospital. It was once upon a time in the whole hospital setup. But now it is not working. But once upon a time there was a music was playing. One CMDS introduced through in the OT and all places, patient waiting places was music, relaxing music. But you must know which music to play. Otherwise it can also induce stress. Music not only relaxes, it also increases the stress if you put wrong music at wrong place. Then practicing yoga, it is now proven beyond doubt, because yoga is started from Patanjali's time, but Sant Ramdev has now popularized to such an extent that in Western people are now saying it is good, so you must believe, because if Western people say something, we must believe actually. They are now telling it is good, it is our material, but once they say it is good, we must accept to be good. And for your information, at our officers club, we have now, since last 4 years, regular yoga classes for officers and family members from 7:30 to 8:30. And since last 15 years, at our yoga and meditation center, of which I am secretary since last 15 years, we are having yoga classes from, earlier used to have 4 to 6, but due to some administrative problem, now we are doing a lunch hour, 1 to 3. And you will be surprised to note about 40 to 50 people are daily attending yoga classes there. Our goal is we teach a group of people, then ask them to do it at home. Then we take another fresh group of 40-50 people. So you find less stress in this environment. So the yoga has a very big role here. Then of course aerobic exercises, etc. Then this creative visualization, that opening your third eye. I have 5 videos from different authorities that how to open your third eye. If time permits, we'll discuss about that. Take care of body, that we have discussed already. That you know. We as a doctors, we did not discuss much actually, but this sleep is most important. If you don't have one indicator, if you don't have good sleep, you